Oh, hey, good morning everybody, it's Steve. Welcome to the Little Wood Shop and our Sunday evening blog. What do I have for you this weekend? Okay, well, first and foremost, in light of the Thanksgiving Day weekend, I hope everybody had way too much to eat, watched a ton of football, maybe got out, had some fun if you're a sportsman in the great outdoors. Whatever your situation was, hey, maybe you had a long weekend, hopefully, like some of us did. I didn't get the full 4 days, but hey, I take extra sleeps and naps whenever I can get them, so hopefully some of you were on that plan. As always, we're grateful for each and every one of you up here for sharing our content as well as our videos and our giveaways and things like that. Just wanted you guys to know that, for you ladies and gentlemen, how much we appreciate you, alright? And I hope you guys and you ladies had a very good Thanksgiving to boot, okay? Alright. Well, what you have in front of you, or what you see in front of you, is the next project that we're doing. Now, I told you I was looking at doing an equestrian scene last week. I personally couldn't find enough imagery to even make me think about doing this. I was looking for a southwestern spin, maybe, on some horses running across the open plains, tumbleweeds, cactus, maybe, I don't know, but I really could not find even good clip art of horses, or I found stuff that was so highly detailed, I didn't want to get into the project and either make it so that it was kind of way too much or really way too little. So we are still going to do this bed. This is going on the open market, but what I'm going to show you here real quick is I'm going to show you how we mark all these up, how I determine size, the whole enchilada, and then we're going to take this into the home office. We're going to throw this in Vcarve Pro, and we're going to show you what all this marked up nonsense is, okay? Alright, so please bear with me. Alrighty. First thing I do, I measure my slab. I want to know what the overall dimension is on the entire slab. And what I can tell you is that it is 88 inches long, half of 88, okay, 44. I draw my center line. Now, to get this whole slab level, alright, I've kind of eyeballed this the best I could. The markups are going to come in handy, but again, this is just the first step that I take when undertaking these big slab projects. Now, I'm building a king. I have all the widths written down right here next to this wonderful cup of coffee. And we know that I'm not going to see it without my glasses. Okay. There's 4 basic sizes, 2 of which I really only do up here. A full is 54 inches wide. A queen, which is this one that we finished Saturday and put together for the open market, that is 60 inches wide. A king, which we're building behind us, is 76, and a California king is 72. I don't do a lot of California kings, and these beds now are built by pretty much commission only because of the size, but we're going to be doing a 76 by 80. Now the length is of no consequence here because how we attach these is most beds anyways, they have a metal frame that your box spring and mattress goes on. Those have a little 90-degree bracket at the headboard anyways where you can screw into the logs, and if the footboard needs, we can get them for you or we can provide them, provide anybody with a link. And you can buy an aftermarket footboard extension bracket. They're less than 20 bucks and they're nothing major to put on, okay? But I take my length. I know that the bed that I'm building is 76 inches. I've written it right here. I know that right there, this line coming down, and we'll do these in yellow so you can see them a little bit better, is this line here coming down in yellow. That's my 76. The ends, well, they become BTUs. This, again, is my center. Off my far ends, I come in 5 inches. These are where I'm going to need to draw a bit of a line that will angle in. And I know that I'm going to need to make it 2 inches. And what I'm going to do, excuse me for a moment, is I'll come in here with my jigsaw once I've cut my ends off, and we're going to make two 2-inch my 5-inch long points. The depth inside the neck on my tenyon is 4 inches. Plus I've given it the extra inch. So that's where the 5-inch mark comes in. We will basically put our tenyons on each end, and then we drill out our post with a big 2-inch boring saw or a hole saw or a spade bit or something, okay? Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the maximum milling capacity of my machine. Now I told you on my y-axis, which is how this has to go in, we're going to program it on the X, just the way it looks, but we both know that this is not going to fit under any average size homeowner, do-it-yourselfers type gantry. I don't even know of a gantry that is 80 inches wide on the X-axis, okay? But, again, for more common machines my size, if it fits under the gantry, guys, I don't care how small your machine is. If it fits under the gantry, you can mill it, period. Alright? Now what I'm going to do is I've also measured over off my center 25 inches. Well, actually 24. Even though my machine can do a full 50 inch, I leave an inch off the top and bottom of the Y as kind of a buffer. So from here to here is 24 to my center. From here to here is 24 inches to my center. This is basically my milling area. And my top line here that runs all the way across and all the way down. And this one down here, I know is 20. I basically built a box. Once I found my center, using my good old trusty 6-foot carpenter square, I looked for the lowest points I could, but still staying up off the bottom of the material, a half an inch, in some places an inch and more, because it is a live edge. I got my bottom line on. I did the same thing for my top. I drew a line with a pencil longer than I needed. I measured over 24 inches from my center. Got it on my bottom mark. Marked a line. I basically built a box. So from my line here to my line here, I have 40 by 20. I'm sorry, I have 48 by 20, excuse me. I have a pretty darn good sized spot. Now, if I want to mill beyond any of this area, because my machine and my gantry isn't going to be able to run that far on my y-axis, well, remember, I always work off my center of my material. I will find where X marks the spot. I will measure over. I will measure up from that bottom line that I've made. So let's say that we position this piece of material halfway in my machine, which would be 25 inches on my y-axis. I've told you in previous videos, we can reinitialize the machine from the starting point down in the corner of the gantry, G0, X0, Y0. I can run it up the full length of the gantry. It's going to come out 50.249 before it dead ends and stalls. I end up pulling the gantry back to 25. That's my halfway point. I line it up with the halfway point on my material. And if I'm only going to mill that 48 by 20 inch span, I won't have to move this material again. However, if there's something outside over here that I want to mill, well then, I'm going to need to take my measurement over from my center and up. I'm going to need to make a note of that, and I'm going to need to relocate the material back under the gantry on my y-axis center. And we'll get more into that as we get ready to load the material. Now you also see the material marked up, okay? I have some knots. I have one down there that is just emitting, it's still puking out sap. Oh, it's just nasty, and I can tell you what's going to happen when I hit it with a bit. It's going to gum that tool all up. It's going to look like a piece of fried chicken, all crispy and coated, and ooh, I'm getting hungry. But nonetheless, it's going to louse that bit up. So even hitting this with a spoiler board bit to get it flat, which is our first step prior to milling it, I'm going to take all this into an account. or all of this into account here. So what I'll do is I'll get some measurements off my center from my bottom up, and I'm going to get kind of the X and Y coordinates for as to where these imperfections are going to fall. This has some pretty good cracks in it too. Those are no big deal. We can run the spoiler board bit. We'll get everything flat. I can mud them, and I'll sand them before I even start engraving. Now, as far as the engrave goes, I am going to probably do another rustic scene. I told you I wanted to do the equestrian. It just didn't work out that way, guys. I'm sorry. All right. As more clip art comes available, I will keep these projects, you know, in the back of my mind. And when we have the clip art to do it, well, by God, we'll put one together. Okay. But we're going to show you on our own open source library how to go in, how to grab all the imagery. And again, fellas, I don't care how big or how small your machine is. If whatever you're looking to mill can fit under your gantry, basically your x-axis, if you would, that holds your router or your spindle. If this material can fit under that gantry, I don't care if it's 3 feet long or 30 feet long. I've done bar tops that are over 16, 18 feet on this machine. Okay? So it can be done, and we're going to show you how, okay? Alright everybody, I'm going to just take and get a couple quick measurements, mainly for that big sappy sucker there on the end, and we're going to find out how much of a problem he may pose. Alright? Aside from that though, everything else is marked up, it looks pretty good, and we'll take you to the home office and we'll show you how we're going to do this in Vcarve Pro. Alright everybody, we'll be right back.